Hey there, bienvenidos y bienvenidas a una nueva clase para ayudarte a aprobar el examen oficial B2 First. Yo soy Bri de AC Academia de Inglés Online y hoy empezamos una serie de clases para que superes el temido examen de speaking. El examen de speaking normalmente casi siempre se hace separado de la parte escrita y tiene 4 partes. Hoy empezamos con Part 1. So to do this, we're going to be doing some role plays. We'll bring in Raul, who will be playing a student answering the examiner's Part 1 questions in 2 different ways. One way will be an example of a good answer, and the other answer will need some improvement. Then later on, we'll look at what examiners are looking for and some tips on how to get off to a good start. Cómo empezar con buen pie. So how to get off to a good start in your first speaking exam. So as you're watching this video, I really want you to try to put yourself in the examiner's shoes. Ponte en su lugar. Put yourself in the examiner's shoes and really start thinking about what the student does well and what the student doesn't do so well. Okay, are you ready to get started? Here's Raul playing student 1. To begin with, I want to know a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Barcelona.
Okay, great. Can you tell me a bit about what the place is like where you live?
Yeah, Barcelona. I like the beach, the mountains, and yeah, I like it.
Okay, do you come from a large family?
Well, I have a brother and a sister, and that's not a big family.
Okay, and what types of activities do you enjoy doing at the weekend?
At the weekend, I like hang out with my friends.
Okay, and who are you most similar to in your family?
I think I look like my mother. She is very similar to me.
Okay, how do you think student 1 went? Did you write down some comments? Let's talk about what an examiner might say about student 1's performance. Okay, so firstly, let's talk about the length of his answers. Student 1 gave very short answers, and sometimes he only answered using one word. So in the speaking exam, examiners are looking for your ability to extend your answers and develop an idea. So think about adding at least one interesting fact or an example or maybe an analogy with each answer that you give. For example, when they ask, "Where are you from?" try to answer the question in a full sentence and give one detail about the place that you live. Something like this: I'm from Barcelona. It's a busy city on the east coast of Catalonia. So secondly, we're going to talk about interesting language. In part 1 of the speaking exam, what the questions are looking for is a focus on your life and personal preferences. So you'll be talking a lot about yourself and the things that you like. Student 1 was able to do this, but he did so in a very simple way. And he repeated "I like" in each sentence. Remember, examiners are not just assessing the accuracy of your language. They're also looking at the range of vocabulary and grammar that you use. So in this case, although student 1's sentences are correct, they're very basic sentences. At a B2 English level, examiners are looking for more sophisticated structures. So for example, you want to be using interesting linking expressions, maybe some passives, maybe even a phrasal verb or two, conditionals. Not to mention, think about the different phrases that student 1 could have used instead of just I like, I like. Finally, let's talk about the way that student 1 answered the questions and his mannerisms. So it's easy to forget this, but it's really important to speak clearly and confidently to the examiner and the other candidate during your speaking exam. Just like you would in a normal, friendly conversation with friends and family. You want to smile. You want to try to maintain eye contact, to be engaged in what you and the examiner are saying. Some students tend to really get nervous and maybe they start mumbling. Mumbling is when you don't pronounce things. Then they don't answer or know how to answer the question. Remember, you can always just invent an answer. You don't have to tell the truth. Okay, to sum up, here are 3 tips for you to think about in part 1. First, answer in full sentences. Think about extending your answers with at least one example or story. 2, use a variety of grammar and vocabulary to show off your amazing English skills. And 3, smile and speak confidently and clearly. To begin, I want to get to know a bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Barcelona. It's a nice city that has a beach, mountains, and a lot of life. There's tons of things to do any day of the week, day or night.
Okay, great. Can you tell me a bit about what you like about the place that you live?
Yeah. I like Barcelona because you have a bit of everything. Good weather, the sea, the mountains, and lots of music festivals. I love music. And if you practice sports outdoors, this is your city because it's mostly sunny the whole year round. So, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Do you come from a large family?
Sorry, could you repeat me the question, please?
Yes, of course. Do you come from a large family?
No. No, I don't think my family is large. I only have a brother and a sister. Well, compared to 100 years ago when families had 8 kids and those kids had new families with 8 more kids. So no, my family is not big at all.
Okay. And what types of activities do you enjoy doing at the weekend?
On the weekends, I enjoy being in the fresh air, spending time close to nature. My family are all outdoorsy people, and we love to be active together. For example, we go hiking in the forest or we go mountain biking. Yeah, we love that.
Okay. And who are you most similar to in your family?
I think I'm most similar to my mother. Firstly, we look similar. She's tall like me and has brown hair. In terms of our personalities, we also have a lot in common. We are both very ambitious and perfectionists.
Okay, great. Okay, how do you think student 2 went in their speaking exam, part 1? How did student 2's answer compare to student 1's? Well, of course, there's no such thing as the perfect answer to an exam question, but let's talk about a few things that student 2 did well in part 1 of his speaking exam. Let's start with the structure of student 2's answers. You may have noticed that he was able to answer in full sentences, and he gave us some interesting details, which was great to see. He also tried to recycle the vocabulary and the grammar of the question in his answers. So this is a really great way to show the examiner that you have properly understood the question, and it also helps to structure and focus your answer. Next, let's talk about the length of student 2's answers. So here, timing is key in any exam situation. Given that the entire exam is only 14 minutes long, it's really important to use your time wisely and to know how long you're expected to speak in each part of the exam. So in part 1, you should aim for your answers to be about 20 seconds long. But remember, you also want quality, not just quantity of English. Don't feel like you need to continue talking just for the sake of talking. It's better to really round out your answer nicely than to drag on your answer and risk getting lost in your train of thought. Let's talk about student 2 and asking the examiner to repeat the question. So students often feel quite nervous in the speaking room, and it's a natural because this situation creates a bit of anxiety. You may not have heard the examiner's question the first time. It is absolutely fine for you to ask the examiner to repeat the question. The key is to do so calmly and eloquently in English, just like student 2 did. So, to review what we learned from student 2. 1. Recycle the vocabulary and grammar from the question in your answer. 2. Try to speak for around 20 seconds long, but remember, quality is better than quantity. And finally, number 3, don't be afraid to ask the examiner to repeat the question. In this situation, keep calm and carry on. Okay, now it's your turn. Try thinking about how you would answer the questions that you just heard and try practicing them out loud in front of a mirror. Yes, in front of a mirror. Or if you're feeling especially brave, you could even record yourself with your phone so you can watch it over and over again. Okay? Esto es todo por hoy. Nos vemos en la siguiente clase para preparar el first. We'll see you there.
Yeah!